Welcome to my channel Teach Me 24/7. Here in this video, I am going to share information about jam round, that is just a minute round, and what is the importance of jam in interviews, how to handle jam, how to decide a jam topics, and how to start and end jam session in an interview. Before going into the main topic, tips to crack the jam round and best jam topics for graduates and freshers, let's look at some key points to understand about just a minute session, and also we will discuss at the end of the session about 9 most commonly asked jam topics. What is jam round? Firstly, let us know what is jam round or session. Just a minute round is a session where the person should select a topic and speak about it just for 1 minute. In most cases, the interviewer decides the topic and the job seeker should speak in general, where in some cases, candidates have an option to choose a jam topics to speak. It is observed that many job seekers or candidates are afraid of jam session because they don't know how to start and end just a minute session and what are the points to be discussed in 1 minute. Here you can find information about how to clear just a minute round in interview session and some tips to master in jam round. Why jam round is required and important? Jam round is to test your communication skills and confidence. Jam sessions are exclusively conducted by the HR to filter out the candidates with good communication and speaking skills in jam session. This round helps the interviewer to judge the candidates and skills based on various factors like organizing thoughts flow, self-confidence, communication skills, speaking and fluency skills, creativity, flow of thoughts, ability to apply the logic, flow speech, coherence, spontaneity and knowledge, presentation and time management. How the jam session is conducted. Generally, the interviewer decides the topic in jam rounds. At just a minute round, candidates should speak on the given topic without any mistakes and with good communication skills. If the interviewer gives a chance to pick the topic, then you will have a chance to choose the jam topics where you can perform well. Selecting the familiar topics will be handy for you in this case. 10 most important tips or rules to crack the jam session are: prepare a few common jam topics for your interview. This helps you to pick the topic easily. I will discuss the 9 most important topics which will be able to help you. And try to avoid using long sentences. Only use simple language. Don't go for complex vocabulary. Try to avoid mother tongue influence at maximum. Don't try to repeat the thing already presented at any cost. Try to share something new and avoid using negative words or sentences that are not important. Maintain eye contact and perfect confident body posture. Try to use words like however, definitely, certainly, wherever it is possible. Avoid words like and but, in between, etc. Don't speak too loudly. Be clearly audible to the interviewer. Women empowerment. This is the most commonly asked jam session topic. So, the role of women in society has been greatly overseen in the last few decades. Women and today's society. Throughout history, men have traditionally been regarded as superior to women in both power and status. Throughout the ages, the roles of women are always changing. Some ages and cultures view the role of women as the child bearer. Others look to all aspects of home life and treat women as a child bearer, cook, and maid. As the times change, a modern picture of women is becoming almost equal to men. We see women in the workforce, women with cell phones, cars, and responsibilities greater than simply raising children. Recently, however, feminists in Western societies have fought against the societal structures that have allowed men to be dominant over women. Much has been accomplished. Women, for example, are now attending colleges and graduate schools in record numbers. In addition, the number of women in the workforce has increased significantly. There was a time when women were just the kitchen keepers and the housekeepers in the Indian society that was treated as the only field for their activity. Gradually, women began to get educated, even highly educated, and a stage came where some of them came out of the social and political field to rub shoulders with the men equally. In the freedom struggle of India, there are notable names of women who took an active part in different movements and even reached the top. This was the opening up of the new horizon for womanhood in India. Women now are in every career and in every field, but this has its own problems too. They have to be mothers, and as mothers, they have to give birth to children and also to rear them up. This becomes for them a major problem. It is the desire of all parents that their children are well looked after, they are properly nursed and cared for, and grew up healthy. The major part of this responsibility falls upon the woman, the mother. In this way, balancing between official duties and home front presents the woman with a career. Enormous problem. Whatever said or done, the Indian society still remains a man dominated society, and the wife may respectably be called better half. These are some of the basic and fundamental problems which the career oriented woman in the present Indian society has to face. The second important topic is my role model. So we can take any role model, but for your convenience, I have taken the name of great APJ Abdul Kalam. Abdul Pakir Jainul Abidin Abdul Kalam Azad is the President of India. Popularly known as Missile Man, the nation knows him as a nuclear scientist and the father of India's successful missile program. APJ Abdul Kalam was born on 15th October 1931 at Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. He did his schooling in Ramantapuram district. For college, he moved out of the district and studied in St. Joseph College in Tiruchirappalli and did his diploma in engineering from Indian Institute Technology, Chennai. He started his career with DRDO in 1958 and 5 years later went to ISRO where he became the project director of SLV. He led the India's first satellite launch vehicle Rohini, which successfully lifted in 1980. He then became program director to launch Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. In his 14-year work span as director of Defense Research and Development Laboratory, he developed Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Akash, and Nag. As a defense scientist, he got Bharat Ratna for his great success in Agni, Prithvi, Akash, Trishul, and Nag missiles research. Our nation is proud of him because he brought fame to nation in missile power and challenging researches. He became the President of India on July 25, 2002. He is the 11th President of India. Before he became the President of India, he received enormous awards including Padma Bhushan in 1981, Padma Vibhushan in 1990, Bharat Ratna and the country's highest civilian award in 1997. After being the president of the largest democracy of the world, perhaps none can have any aspiration left, but Kalam has of opening a great school for poor children in Rameshwaram. Dr. Kalam says, if you want to leave your footprints on the sand of the time, do not drag your feet. Great dreams and great dreamers are always rewarded with victory. The Missile Man rose from his humble background to become the jewel in nation's crown and made missiles for the country, thereby making India member of the exclusive club of nuclear powers in the world. Besides being a scientist of high caliber, the President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, is also poet and a lover of music. Although he has a very few leisures in his busy schedule, he is also fond of playing on veena. He is the scientist who thinks, dreams, lives, and breathes science. Also, earlier, the greatness of the man is also his simplicity, despite having many achievements and honors to his credits. The third most important topic is child labor. Child labor is economically unsound, psychologically disastrous, and ethically wrong. The lovely childhood of the children has been crippled by the ever growing menace of child labor. If one conceives the idea of child labor, it brings before the eyes the picture of exploitation of little physically tender, illiterate, and undernourished children working in hazardous and unhealthy conditions. About 250 million children between the age of 5 and 14 work in developing countries. At least 120 million of these children work on full-time basis. In India, it is estimated above 28.2 million by the International Labour Organization. The origin of the problem of child labor can be traced to complex social vices like illiteracy, poverty, inequality, failure of social welfare schemes, population explosion, etc. But when one considers the economic compulsions of the families which force the children to work, one will be compelled to admit that elimination of child labor will be a distant dream as long as the socio-economic status of these families is not improved. The prevalence of child labor is a slap on the conscience of the society. Child labor creates the labor force which is ill-equipped in terms of skills to compete in today's globalized economy. It harms not only the present generation but also the posterity. Time and again, even the Supreme Court of India has passed orders on the matter with the directives to abolish child labor, but the menace continues. Problem of child labor must be recognized as a human right problem. It has to become mandatory duty of all governments across the world to take all possible steps to put an end to this problem child labor once and for all. Today's children will constitute the backbone of tomorrow's society. Hence, it is the social conscience that needs to be awakened, and it is the obligation of every generation to bring up children and constitute their abilities to the society. The next important topic, education system in India. Education is very necessary for each and every person because we gain knowledge, wisdom and manners which help us to lead a dignified life. Nowadays, every nation is taking steps to make its possible educated and eradicate illiteracy from their country. Coming to the education system of India, we can say it is well developed comparing to the past days, but even we face few problems in the education systems of our country. In the past, India was totally different from now. Today, the public and private educational bodies are working together to achieve academic excellence. At the same time, education has become commercial with the growth of donation schools and colleges. In today's education, the standards in English and mother tongue have decreased due to specialization of subjects in science, technology, mathematics and medicine has increased tremendously. Indian government has succeeded in advancing the education system by providing primary and higher education to some extent only. It has to provide a good quality of education comparatively as of private institutions. As many schools under government are not properly built, no proper teaching is done by the teachers, lack of books for students, no proper facilities, etc. Today, the private schools have advanced their method education by introducing EduComp methods, but the government is failing in preceding the normal pattern of education. Thus, it has to take measures in giving proper education and socializing the people to send their kids to schools but not to work because today's children are tomorrow's citizens. Importance of communication skills. Good communication skills are an indispensable asset without which the goals are unreachable. Be it in any field, IT, ITES, banking, finance and insurance, BPOs, call center, retail or any other field, communication refers to exchange of thoughts and ideas with the intention of conveying information. Communication is a two-way street that includes vocalization as well as expression. The purpose of communication is to convey one's belief, ideas, thoughts, or needs with clarity so as to reach a mutually acceptable solution. The importance of communication skills cannot be underestimated. Good communication skills are necessary in all walks of life. The lack of effective communication skills have a negative impact on the personal as well as professional life of a person. Good communication skills are prerequisite for healthcare providers, teachers, salesmen, corporate employees, and many more. Communication does not refer only to articulating words, but it also refers to feeling and expression. In the end, I would like to say if we have clarity, expression, feelings, and intention to convey thoughts with respect, then I believe the goal of communication will be accomplished. The most common topic asked to the freshers to tell about college days. College life is that phase in one's life when one learns the most important lessons of his or her life. It is for the first time when an individual is left to himself to make his own decisions. The importance of maintaining good and healthy relations with seniors, batchmates, and faculty is known in this very important phase of life called college life. The art of making things happen. while working in a group or team by coordinating with each other is well learned during college days. For instance, when I worked in a group of 4 members on a project, it was the sense of being in one team that bind all of us together and motivated all of us to put in collective effort in the working towards achieving the goal of project completion. Today, as a professional, when I am asked to work in a team, it is very easy for me to coordinate with my teammates. I developed the habit of listening to the ideas of all the people working in a group and have an elaborate discussion among the team members to decide on what needs to be done. Another important lesson which I learned during my college days was to maintain good relations with my professors, seniors, and also my batchmates. It always helped me to gather information about any subject or any other work. Overall, I can say I enjoyed and learned during college days. Corruption in India. Corruption in India is one of the most menacing threats that our economy has been battling with ever since the independence. At all the levels of Indian bureaucracy, corruption has seemingly taken its toll and has been corroding the structure of our nation. Be it private sector or public sector, Indian people have a tendency of misusing the public position in their favor to fulfill their motives and gain personal benefits. A recent unofficial data published by The Hindu estimated that Indians had over $1,456 billion in Swiss bank. India stands among one of the most corrupt nations in the world. The causes are: when evaluating the causes responsible for corruption, the number seems to be infinite. However, the main reason is lack of implementation of the rules and laws. There are numerous laws in Indian Penal Code and Prevention of Corruption Act that have been framed to stop corruption, but their implementation is missing. Another prominent reason for corruption is lack of transparency in bureaucracy and governmental processes. Consequences. The consequences of corruption are grim. The whole system falls apart if the structure of government is struck by the storm of corruption. The ones who are not so rich and unable to pay bribes officials, they don't get their work done on time and their files collect dust in the offices. How to reduce corruption? When it comes to fighting this adversary, the first blood must be drawn by general public. If there are no individuals that pay bribe, then the structure automatically resurrects again. The implementation of laws should be stricter and increased transparency must be brought into action. Unless the general public becomes vigilant, corruption cannot be unplugged from our nation. Impact of social networking sites. In today's world, where everything is just one click away, social networking sites have become the need of the present world. Social networking sites and social media has revolutionized the world, bringing us closer than ever before and making life easier. They are very much useful not only to the youth but also to all the generations. However, every coin has two sides, and addiction to anything is always bad. Being on social networking site means one should be social, but we are social more on networking sites and are keeping ourselves away from the social life. These networking sites are changing the mindset of the youth. People are living in the virtual world and trying to present a virtual picture of their life and updating on social sites. We are not enjoying our real life but trying to pretend our virtual world to be perfect. We are publishing our personal life for few minutes of attention among few people in the virtual world. Too much use of social networking sites are making individuals dumb. Thus, today's youth are engaged in cyber crimes. In the end, I would like to say social networking is a medium through which we can learn things, broadcast our knowledge, experience, and views. We can either misuse this or use it for a better life. All depends upon us and the choice is ours. My favorite movie. Today, I feel very happy and excited because I am going to share my views on my favorite movie. My favorite movie is Pursuit of Happiness. This movie is all about hard work, dedication, passion, perseverance, and never giving up attitude. In this movie, Will Smith plays a character named Chris Gardner, who is living in the last of his means. Chris Gardner used to sell bone density scanners and survive. However, after a certain point of time, these bone density scanners were outdated and he was unable to sell these scanners. He lost his job and his wife left him alone along with his son. It was really tough time for Chris Gardner as he has lost his job, wife and roof over his head. However, Chris Gardner didn't give up. He started searching for a job and he got a job as an intern in share trading company. During his internship, the company was not paying anything and he has to clear all the tests after his training. Through his hard work and determination, he got the permanent job in the same company. After few years, he started his own company and became a millionaire. In the end, I would like to say through hard work and determination, you can achieve all of your goals. This is all about the jam sessions, just a minute round tips and tricks to master do's and don'ts in jam session. And finally, we have also discussed the 9 most important topics that are commonly asked in the interviews. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more such videos.